Welcome to Vision for Change Radio with John Stevenson. When faith meets information, everything is possible. It takes just one moment to put your life on the road to success and personal fulfillment. You can obtain God's best when you can see your future in your present. Listen in as we share information that will inspire your spirit and empower your soul.
Well, good morning, family. Welcome to Vision for Change Radio. I am your host, John Stevenson, and for the listeners here on WOL, I am new to WOL, but I am a part of the Radio 1 family. We've been on WYCB 1340 AM here in Washington, D.C. for the last 4 to 5 years. And so I'm here hopefully to give you some encouragement on Monday afternoons. I'm so used to being on in the mornings, you know. I got my buddy in here, and I'll introduce you. This is Shawn Perry. Shawn Perry is in here. He's got a radio show on 1340 WYCB, the Senior Zone. What's going on, Shawn?
What's happening, John Stevenson? Man, it is an honor to be on your very first show here on WOL 1450. I got to get used to that. WOL.
I know, right. WOL. So for the WOL family, thank you all for having me here. The calling number is 1-800-450-7876. And what I have, I'm going to try to bring, let me tell you who I am first. I am a husband, I'm a father, I'm a minister of the gospel. I love the Lord and my Savior Jesus Christ, and I am an entrepreneur, but I'm a servant, and so I'm here to serve this community and to prayerfully give this community some things that will be able to help you to see something different. The reason the show's called Vision for Change, I believe that everybody can change. If you can see something different, you can be something different. So it doesn't matter what's going on in your job, what's going on in your family. If you can see the change can happen. So I'm here to prayerfully, hopefully, give you some insight. Now, what we're going to do weekly is I'm going to have a question of the week. And you can find me right now. We're live in studio. Good morning to all my social media family. We're live. You can find me on John Inspires 247 on Facebook Live, Instagram, and Twitter. That is John Inspires 247. You can join us right here live in the studio. What I did was I have a question of the week. And this is my question of the week. It says, if you could go back in time and speak to the younger you, what advice would you give yourself? If you could go back in time. I thought about it, and this week on social media, I'm just read some of my family gave me some things on social media. Mo Camara says, I would just seek knowledge in a variety of subject lines, even if minimally, because the minimal knowledge will allow you to at least begin asking the necessary questions to learn more about the subject matter. Knowledge is power. Diane Cabinet says, knowing what I know now, I would definitely learn to and embrace Jesus Christ. Her alternative answer, she had an alternative answer. She said, stop, look, listen before making decisions. Do not be a renegade. Then Nikan Costin, I like this one. She said, I would tell myself, don't rush into relationships. Work on finding yourself. Also find your passion and follow it and finish school. Again, you can give me a call here if you want to join me on this conversation, 1-800-450-7876, and we'll pop you on there. I just want to hear what you would say. Shawn, I'll tell you what I did. Now let me just give you one of my stories of regrets, okay? I was in high school. Now this might be petty, but I was in high school, and we had a little hip-hop group. We were dancing, and we would break dancing, and we got pretty popular. So I did the Michael Jackson. I had the Jerry curl, greasy face, all that stuff, man. I had all that stuff going on.
Kick your leg up high?
Man, I did all that stuff, man. White glove. It wasn't a Michael Jackson white glove. It was a little magic white glove.
I can't visualize that now. Doris, send that picture in.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Doris, don't send me no pictures. All right? Anyway, we're at prom, and they played a Michael Jackson record. So, I mean, we were pretty cool. I mean, we would travel around different schools dancing. And I remember just getting into it, my date, and then they had a circle around me. So everybody started clapping, then I got embarrassed, but I felt like I didn't want to stop, right? So I could see, I went to a predominantly white school. I think we were like 8% or something like that, but everybody's clapping, go ahead, John. That was all the white students. All the black students was like, what is you doing, bro? You know? So I did that, man. My friend Eddie, he was Puerto Rican. He says, man, what are you doing? He's in our group. What are you doing? It didn't even look right, dude, you know? I went to school on Monday, and I remember being in the lunch line, and one of the Caucasian girls said, John, you are awesome. Oh, my God. It's like, man, you can really, really dance. You know, you felt good for a moment. But the sisters let me have it. boy, it's like, boy, what was you doing? You know? And I remember for years I felt bad about that. But I'll tell you this, Shawn. That's something petty, but you have fathers out there who have regrets for some things that they've done because they wasn't there or they could have done more. You have mothers who probably had somebody else raise their children. You've got people who made mistakes, and the mistakes they feel like cost them something. Yeah. And go ahead, Shawn.
When you ask that question, you know, we oftentimes think of regrets in terms of things that we have done, right? And if we could take them back, right? We don't always go to what we haven't done because that's an unknown. We don't know what that road would have led us to.
That's good,
so
man.
We don't go down that road in terms of regrets. My regrets tend to go down that road more often. And as you were talking, I was trying to formulate what I was going to say because I knew you were going to bring me this question, right? You know, I think being able to jump, I call it jump more often. You know, take advantage of opportunities, untraveled roads, the fears that you've allowed to just, you know, prevail over the course of your life that has denied you. We don't even know what the roads are because we never traveled down those roads, true. Right? And so I tend to go that way. One story that I have as a childhood, as a kid, and I don't know why. I grew up in New York City like you did, right? There are no golf courses to my knowledge, at least when I grew up in New York City. But I gravitated, you know, and had a liking and affinity towards golf early on. I had no one to look up to. There was no Tiger Woods when I grew up, right? But I remember my mother signing me up to go to a golf like lesson out in Long Island somewhere, right?
You got them in Long Island.
Yeah, out of Long Island. I had to go take 2 buses to get there. The day that I had to go, I didn't go. I punked out. And I didn't go. And till the day, as I play more often now, I always wonder, what if I had started when I was, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old? Where would that path have led? I could have been the next Tiger Woods.
We don't know.
Don't know. Because I didn't jump back then. And that's, as you said, that's a small kind of, trivial kind of story. But the message is there. I think, you know, and this is my opinion here. Because when you jump, I think the minute you jump, and you tell me this, the minute we decide to jump or whatever it is, that faith that you have, God is meeting us right there.
Yes, sir.
He's just waiting for us to jump.
Yes, sir.
He's not going to make us jump. He ain't going to push us over the edge.
Nope.
But the minute you jump, you know, he's waiting for. He said, I got you. And I know when I've jumped with the Senior Zone, you jump with Vision for Change, he's had us.
He's got our back, man.
But we had to make that decision to jump.
Yeah, and you got a decision to not walk in fear. And you know, one of the things. Let me read the scripture here I got for everybody. I got a scripture. I'm a minister. It wouldn't be right if I didn't have a scripture. It's Philippians chapter 3, verse 13. It's the New American Standard Bible. Says this: Brethren, I do not regard myself as having laid hold of it yet, but one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and reaching forward to what lies ahead. So there's times we got to forget those things because I think sometimes those things hinder us. You know, if I live back in my past, even past successes, you know, you want to be motivated by it, but sometimes people are relishing, boy, 1978, boy, I was the, man, you should
still living in
I was working that thing, man. And those things will still hold you back. But we got to sometimes forget those things, and today's a new day. And I say this, we're always laying the foundation for the past. So after we finish this radio show, that's going to be past. So yeah, you can say, well, I can't forget everything in the past, but you can forget the drama, forget the pressures, forget the things that are causing you bad thoughts where you can't move forward. Because you can't jump with holding on to some things in the past.
Yeah. Have you ever watched dog racing?
Yeah.
You know, and you know the rabbit they chase. Is it a rabbit that goes out?
Mechanical rabbit.
Mechanical rabbit they chase out. I look at that as say my obituary. Right? And it may sound kind of morbid, right? But focusing on the end of life, your obituary, if you will, like if you were to write you heard this, if you were to write your obituary now, then live up to that obituary. Live up to, so you're always chasing, that's your rabbit. Yeah. Right?
And we don't have to have somebody make something up.
Yeah, right. That way you're not focusing on what's behind you. The rabbit doesn't go backwards. The rabbit is constantly in front of you.
Yeah, that's right.
And so you're chasing after that which you've already declared as what you want in your life. So that way you kind of minimize, you know, the opportunity for regrets.
You know, man, I thought about this too. You know, sometimes there are things we're seeing in the news, Shawn, with governors, actors, people are going back and looking in their past and they're saying, okay, because you did something when you were 18 or 21, now you don't qualify for a job. Or, You know, it's interesting what's going on with the governor now in Virginia.
And Lieutenant Governor and State
Governor.
Attorney General.
Yeah, okay. If you still got criminal tendencies, hate tendencies, we might need to look at your job. But I can think about things that I said and I did when I was 18, man. Man, if you pull my card, I probably won't have a job, man.
You're off WOL next week.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to watch how we judge people. That's my personal things, because I think everybody changes. Everybody has an opportunity. It's interesting if it depends on who you're talking to. If it was Kevin Hart and he was going to host the Oscars, then we're saying, well, yeah, forgive him. He said sorry, let it go. But now if it's something else, some of us might say, well, I don't know, you know.
There's a line there. I think if there is a criminal element attached to it.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
right,
if it's criminal, I got you.
We all have to be held to account, right, and pay that price. At some point, if you had gotten caught back then, you'd have paid the price back then, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so you got to also look at in way the victim. While all of this stuff is alleged, I like to give everybody their just due and their voice, and so the victims or the alleged victims need to be heard as well.
And they do need to be heard, man. I think because if it's a crime, something like that, like we're talking about sexual assault, then yeah, man, we need to figure this out, because these ladies are living with this.
Yeah. But you bring up a good point. Our generation, we didn't have cell phone cameras, right? Everybody we probably talking to right now, we didn't have all this stuff, recording devices like they have back then. So I tell my children, and I'm sure you tell yours, you got to monitor what you do now. Everything that you are doing is being recorded and can be a regrettable offense.
Yes, sir.
And you don't want to have to defend that, 20, 30, 40 years from now when you are a totally different person.
Yeah, and we all change. Like I said, I was over the weekend talking to some friends, and there's some things that, man, I could think about what we said. We were joning. That's what we called it. We called it joning. Some of y'all call it, depends on how y'all doing the dozen ranking and all that other stuff, man. But I'm going to tell you what, man, if you go back and pull some of that stuff we said on the school bus.
Yeah, your mama said.
Yeah. But look at you. Other ethnic groups we said stuff about, they said stuff about us, man. It was kind of bad, man, back in the day. I pulled out my yearbook, and I found, I knew we had it. We had, man, I'm telling you, I found some girls that painted their face with shoe polish because they were Jamaicans for, Halloween. And I thought, man, we didn't really think twice about it back then. It wasn't big to us. I guess we thought, okay, you're trying to be us. But now, if that was the surface, I'm not going to surface it. Folks will go off, man.
But not every community was enlightened, educated, even within our own communities. I guarantee you there are black folks that don't know what blackface means, the devastation that it's caused.
Not the millennials. They don't know what that is.
Yeah. So I know you probably got to go to break, but
yeah, we got to do a little break. So family, listen, we'll be right back. We're gonna take a really quick break. Well, we got about a minute. We got a minute or so. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit. But give me 60 seconds. We're gonna talk more about this generation. This generation now, I don't know, Shawn. Do they get more offended than we did in the past?
I think they're more aware, they're more awake, and so I think with that comes a degree of sensitivity because they are aware of a lot of the issues that we weren't. To communicate now, is much easier than you and I had to communicate back in the day. We had to get on a train and a bus to go see each other, right? If we didn't even have a phone back then. Today it's in an instant.
Okay, we're going to take it real quick for weather and traffic, and we'll be right back and talk to Mr. Shawn Perry of the Senior Zone. Hey family, how you guys doing? Tell me how it's going. This is something. Yeah. Yeah. What's she say? Oh, don't you read? No photos. I'll show him myself. I got. Hey, Instagram, how you guys doing? Yeah,
this is John Stevenson from the Vision for Change Radio. If you want to be a part of something great, join me with John Stevenson Ministries and the Vision for Change Radio Show. You can be a partner.
Trying to make it happen, guys.
You can contact us at info@jsmonline.org. That is jsmonline.org is the website, or you email me at info@jsmonline.org.
Okay.
If you're interested,
I think we have a couple bumps today.
Come on and contact me as well. All things are possible if you can just believe.
This traffic report is sponsored by Hellsberg Diamonds. Southbound DC 295 is slow.
This is different to have weather traffic in between the show, guys.
Being placed with your lane shifting over to the left.
I'm gonna use it as helpful because I can know which way to go home. Hey family, thank y'all for joining us today, man. I know, look, I got to get my stand for you guys, man. I didn't break it out today, so you're a little low. I know it's stuff, but this is the new show, WOL 1450, man. We're talking about living with no regrets.
$299.99 at Hellsberg Diamonds. This weather update is sponsored by KFC. Today it will be
and guys, guess what? We're not going to be able to do an after show because I got somebody coming here right behind me.
Tonight, cloudy with periods of rain with a low of 34 degrees, and tomorrow, cloudy and rainy with a high of 43 degrees. Right now, get 2 KFC Chicken Littles for only $3. They may be Chicken Littles, but this is a big old deal. I'm Michelle Murray for 1450 AM and 95.9 FM, WOL, where information is power.
All right, we're back. You're listening to Vision for Change Radio with John Stevenson. Thank you all for joining me today. You can find me here on social media at John Inspires 247 right here live on Facebook Live in the studio. And my second segment here, we've been talking about living with no regrets. You know, all of us have got something that we've done in the past that sometimes we let it hold us back from moving forward and what we need to move forward within life. And then there's some things that we've had successes. You know, we mentioned that on the first segment that we had some successes that some people just keep living in the past. You've got that friend that still lives in the past, man. They got they 48 with the cornrows and the throwback jerseys and the high two stops saying, man, I can still ball, or, whatever they got, man. And it hinders progress in life, man. That's what happens. So I got my good buddy here, and Shawn Perry. Let me give him an introduction. Shawn Perry is the executive producer and the host of the Senior Zone, which airs every Monday morning at 10 a.m. on Radio 1's WYCB, our sister station here, 1340 a.m. in Washington, D.C. It's a weekly radio broadcast dedicated to serving the needs of the older community, the older adult community. Since 2012, Shawn has worked tirelessly, and I know that's to be true, to promote the well-being of older adults. And Shawn, I thank you for being in the house with me today, bro. That's my big brother in media.
Hey, thank you, man. And like I said earlier, and as well as off air, I learned from you as much as you say you learned from me. It's my military background. You cannot be a leader and not know how to also follow. Mm-hmm. And so I'm following, your leadership and admiring all that you're doing. And I'm so happy for you, brother.
Man,
to make this transition. It's not easy.
It's not.
To do what you just done.
Yeah, we're coming from, the gospel station, and we felt like we had some other things to say to just, outside of the gospel world. We wanted to come and bring something different, bring who I am. All I can do is bring who I am. And I'm glad you came. My first day here on WOL, man. It's good to have you with me, bro.
Yeah. It's John, I guess it's my little wisdoms here. I said, I'm happy for you that you made this transition because I know it's not easy. It's a big task to decide to leave one population, one listenership, WYCB that is, to make this transition over to WOL. And the example that you're making to me right now is what I tell other folks is the saddest part about life is to have a summary of should haves, might haves, could haves. Mm-hmm. You're not going to have that because you are doing it right now.
Can the church say amen?
It's not going to be a should have.
I'm laying hold of that one right there, brother.
A might have, or could have, so you're setting that example, and helping others to jump as well.
Okay, man. Well, let's talk about you. So this family here needs to get to know who this guy is, and I'm telling you, this brother's doing some great things in the community with the senior community. I'm telling you all. Shawn, talk about a little bit about the seniors.
The seniors, I can do that all day long.
I can do
that all
man.
night, day long. There, I love my seniors, my older adults. I was raised by a grandmother. It's been instilled in my DNA down to the marrow of my bones to have a reverence and a respect for older adults. And it irks me when I'm outside, just going about normal life, and I'll see things where the chivalry for older adults doesn't occur, where a mother or a father lets a son or a daughter sit while an older adult is standing next by it, and doesn't at least extend,
right,
to that older adult, hey, ma'am, do you want to have this seat? Little things like that. And so that's the embryonic beginnings, of the genesis of the Senior Zone. And the Senior Zone is a radio show that I've been doing now since November of 2012. Mm-hmm. So we're now in our 7th year. And it's created a forum of connection where seniors can come to get their information. It's a one-stop shop. So on our show, you can hear about, Medicare or transportation or social isolation or caregiving, senior dating, senior sex, and everything in between.
Legal advice?
Legal advice, caregiving. We speak
scams,
about
all that,
yeah,
man.
fraud, all that sort of stuff that's preyed upon our seniors. But it's all about trying to keep our seniors safe and trying to improve the quality of their lives. I noticed a gap some years ago and just tried to throw in my 2 cents to serve this population. I had grown to a position in my life where I was tired of seeking stuff, just about getting,
right,
and realizing that this stuff that we chase, cars and clothes and jewelry and all that stuff, it wasn't bringing any sort of joy, to my life. I was walking around even then saying I protect my joy, and I was like, what am I protecting? I wasn't happy, until I decided, to really not talk about serving and do what I thought, could be of a service to our older adults. That was the passion, that I had. So I just jumped in.
Yeah,
you know my story. I didn't have any experience. I didn't have any.
And he jumped in nice and heavy, you all. He's got the senior spa days. You talk about the senior spa days, and then the midweek celebrations. You know.
This is where I say when you jump. If you're out there listening to me right now, because it's just not about Shawn Perry. It's about you. If you're out there listening right now and you are teetering on to jump or not, be smart. You got to keep the lights on and keep food on the table. But more likely than not, whatever fears that you have in front of you that you're thinking about, they won't be realized.
Right.
Most of them won't be realized. Life will go on. The sun will come up the next morning. So I made that jump, and I made that jump with no broadcast experience, no radio experience. I didn't even know what Medicare was, or didn't know what Medicaid was, But I made that jump, and God met me right after I jumped. And I can talk about many points of validations where the community has supported me. National organizations, regional, local organizations have jumped in to support the senior zone, and it's all by the making of God. I just had to jump.
Yeah, and I've watched his life the last 4.5, 5 years that I've known Shawn. We met at a Firehouse Subs. So we met there. I need to call him for sponsorship, Right. And we met there, and he had me on the show, and I served him for a while. He let me cover one of his shows, and that's how I got into this. But his heart and his love for the senior community, I don't know if I've ever met anybody with that love and care for seniors like Shawn has it.
When you care, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's not work. People ask me, and initially, some time ago, people would always ask, why do you do what you do? And I didn't know. I couldn't really give an answer that was short, an elevator kind of answer, right? And then I just summarized it. I do it because I care, simply because I care. Now, I can expound on that, but it's all gonna root down to that I care about our older adults, and it even gets me choked up sometimes. At our senior spa day, this is an event that I do once a month. I give away free haircuts and manicures and makeup, and wrap that around a lot of information for our seniors. Then we wrap that around some entertainment. But I have one story of a gentleman. I don't know his name right now, but he came up to me after this event. He'd gotten a haircut, and he's on fixed income, low income, Social Security. So he's getting about $750 a month, right? And he's in public housing, so a third of that income has to go towards paying his rent. So he's about $500 left over to get him through the entire month. He came up to me and said, you don't know how much me saving this $20 for a haircut means to me, right? And for you and I, it's nothing, right? Today. But for that gentleman, that meant just I can't even articulate just how much that meant.
I'm sure his face
to him, his face did. It brought if you're human, if you have empathy and compassion in you, then it will get you choked up. Know that you're making a difference and improving the quality of life for older adults. So that's the senior zone. But I don't want to talk about me, man. I want to talk about you.
I got you to talk about you, right? We talk about the senior zone because, there are people God puts in your life to speak to you. We think God just talks with a voice or just do the Holy Spirit through your heart. But man, He'll bring people in your life and show you examples of what things could be and where He wants to take you. You got to have a vision. That's so we got Shawn Perry here, being an example of how we can care and love our community. So Shawn, if somebody wants to be part of that senior zone, all right, and the spa days, you got to go to your website and all that good stuff. You got a senior out there, a nana out there, if you are a nana and a papa, and you want to be a part of the Senior Zone, how do they find you?
You can go to our website. So it's 3 words now, theseniorzone.com. You can go there. You can call us at 202-810-5940. That's 202-810-5940. On our website, you can just click on events, and all of our upcoming events will show there under the events tab. Or you can listen to us every Monday.
Yes, sir.
Every Monday on WYCB 1340 AM at 10 a.m. That's WYCB 1340, 10 to 11 a.m.
All right.
Thank you for that plug, man.
You're welcome. We'll be right back. Oh, okay. Well, he's telling me I got 2 minutes. Okay. We're still getting used to this. Listen, you all join us every week. We want you to come and join. Again, I'm going to put out here. You can follow us on social media on @JohnInspires247. I got a website, iloveIgiveIserve.com. Right now, we're working on it. We brought it down, but we're putting some new things up just based on the new show. So we want you to go by our website. Also, I have a nonprofit organization called John Stevenson Ministries. It's jsmonline.org. That's jsmonline.org. You can help us do all the things that we're trying to do in the community. One of the things we're looking to do, we want to have something special. We want to honor those who are volunteering and doing some wonderful things in the community. So we want to give out a special award, just some gifts just to show appreciation. And we're going to call that the Servant Leader of the Week. So if you got somebody you want to nominate, let us know. We'll be right back. Okay. All right, before we let go, man, let me thank Shawn Perry again, man. Thank you so very much for being here.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. It's been an honor. Congratulations again.
All right, WO listeners, thank you all for having us today. Social media, thank y'all for being part of what we do. We love you guys so much. Keep praying for us. Listen, I'm telling you, all things are possible if you can just believe. And if you can see the change, you can be the change that you see. Come on and join me here every week, every Monday morning.
Tune in next week for another Vision for Change radio show with John Stevenson.
All right, that was abrupt.
Our website at iloveIgiveIserve.com.
We're going to get it right.
Follow John via Facebook,
coming in already.
Instagram, and Twitter.
All right, family.
John
We got to roll out.
Inspires.
Love you. See you guys a little bit later.